This company owns everything, and to be honest, it's just a little bit scary. So today I want to have a conversation with you about what is the largest shadow bank in the world, the privately owned and the privately operated investment manager called Blackrock. This is a company that is on track to be owning, well, just about everything, with over 1,000 separate investment funds all around the world. And I don't mean it in a like, oh, they're gonna own everything kind of way. I mean like, no. They're going to own everything kind of way. They generated net inflows of $90 billion freaking dollars in just the second quarter of 2022. That's a lot of money. That's like insane amounts of money. BlackRock incorporates over 24 different subsidiaries all around the world to help them get around those pesky monopoly laws that would normally make it more difficult for such a giant to emerge. So if BlackRock owns everything, is it possible that BlackRock could own you? And if so, would you even know it if they did? All of that and more in today's video. My name's Lark. I make videos on investing. Now, if you do like that topic, then please consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, for every little tap on the thumbs up button, that'll count as one nice little FU to the global elites and companies just like BlackRock. So make sure to smash it good. Now let's get into this. So, BlackRock. BlackRock was actually founded back in the late 80s, so kind of newish company to have got so much so quickly. And in that time, they've managed to reach over $10 trillion in assets under management, which is a phenomenal amount of money. They've quickly become the largest holding firm in the world, with the exception of, China and the USA, right? These holdings eclipse every other country's GDP. It's crazy, and by a lot. And sure, BlackRock's gonna say they don't actually own any of the companies that they invest in. They're just investors. They only own equity. Sure. But let's just keep it real. There's no coincidence that when you look at every Fortune 500 company out there today, you're going to find BlackRock's name under each of the company's top 3 equity owners. And guess how it works? Who gets to make decisions for these companies? The majority shareholders decide everything, and BlackRock just happens to be a majority shareholder for like everything. BlackRock has enough equity to call a lot of shots in a lot of places. That kind of influence is scary. The influence BlackRock has on all these companies is massive, giving BlackRock essentially the ability to make or break basically any industry that they want to, whenever they want to. Which just so happens to be exactly, well, unsurprisingly, what they've been doing over the past decade, creating what's called sustainable companies. Now, any company not willing to basically bend the knee and adhere to BlackRock's standards of sustainability, well, bad news. By now, you're probably thinking, well, Lark, that all sounds kind of crap, but what's any of this really have to do with me? Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. And let me answer it with a thought for you to consider. Do you know who owns the deed to your house? Or rather, who owns the company that owns that deed to your house? You probably thought it was your bank, right? Bank of America, for example. No, that's wrong. But Lark, I pay my mortgage to Bank of America, so they should own my deed, right? No, it's not. I know you walked into your local branch, you filled everything out with your Bank of America loan officer, all that stuff, but it's a cool story. But what if I told you that BlackRock owns Bank of America? In fact, BlackRock has been so hungry to gobble up everything, to own every single family home available that they can get their hands on. They've spent the past few years driving the cost of homes up by paying up to over 50% of home values. Whew, crazy. Bank of America is just one of a dozen different ways that BlackRock is boxing people out of home ownership. BlackRock says it's your neighbors. BlackRock says, oh, but your government's to blame and the greedy landlords. But let's not forget to mention that they have absolutely no problem whatsoever in taking billions of dollars in taxpayers' money for their mortgage-backed securities products. Also, here's a little funny detail to add on to all this. BlackRock was actually the company that the Fed, the Federal Reserve, hired to clean up the 2008 housing crash. That's convenient, isn't it? Less funny when you realize that the people who own BlackRock, the wealthiest people on Earth, these guys were some of the exact same bankers and people who crashed the housing market with unsustainable loan tactics. It's like if the fox collapsed the egg market and then bought up all the hen houses on fire sale. It's a scandal. Now, before I tell you just how deep BlackRock has stuck its finger into the pie of everything, I want to interrupt the flow real quick to tell you about Wealth Mastery. This is my weekly cryptocurrency investor report. It's a newsletter that comes twice to your inbox. We talk about altcoins, but no BS altcoin reviews, NFT mints, the hottest airdrops, latest token sales, DeFi tutorials, and much, much more. You can sign up to this newsletter for free using the link down below in the description, so do check it out. All right, now let's get back into it. And I know, look, this can all leave you feeling a bit like, the system's rigged, it's all messed up, and it kind of is, especially when you start to realize the people that are actually behind all of this. I mean, the BlackRock CEO, the criminal executive officer, Larry Fink, he's actually been pretty outspoken in some, pretty unsavory stuff, like his praise of the way that the Chinese government has the ability to control its citizens through fear and fierce regime kind of tactics. I mean, Larry, dude, come on. You're saying the quiet part out loud, man. That's yikes. Anyway, it's no surprise that we've also seen a shift in Western media content over the past few years towards this particular topic when you consider the influence of BlackRock. Larry's even taken all this stuff a step further by publicly threatening any company not deemed to be fitting in or to be woke enough, if you will. Of course, that's all pretty funny considering that the SEC, who does do their job from time to time apparently, has actually had several run-ins with BlackRock over the years. And you have to realize they must have been doing something pretty damn bad for the SEC to actually care. And they've done stuff like hiding information from clients, punishing whistleblowers. Well, their second in charge, Mike Wiseman, for example, was out dipping his pen into, the company ink a little bit, Sounds like a great place to work. Well, I don't know about you, but I find it quite unsettling when you have the same people who are telling us that you're going to own nothing, right? That you're going to be happy. I mean, BlackRock is definitely a company of the Great Reset agenda. And they just happen to be the same people who want to own everything themselves. And look, home ownership, massive corporate holdings of BlackRock, these are just a few pieces of a very big and complex puzzle, and it's more than we can go into in just a short video like this, but BlackRock is right at the center of all this wealth transfer going on right now. And look, BlackRock and Vanguard, and we're not even going to open the Vanguard can of worms today, maybe in another video. But look, they own everything. They own what you eat, they own what you drink, they own the clothes you wear, the medicine that you need to survive. I mean, guess who got rich from all the COVID vaccines? Because who's the third largest shareholder in Pfizer? Oh, it's BlackRock, of course. The computer you're watching this on, guess what? They're the second largest stakeholder in Apple. Microsoft. Gas you put in your car. What you watch on TV. They own Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC. The news, the messages that people are getting into their homes, they control the narrative. The magazines you subscribe to, all that stuff. BlackRock has even recently taken control of the U.S. Treasury by being put in charge of being responsible for executing future acquisitions and trades on behalf of the Treasury Department, which sounds like a serious, serious problem. The amount of economic power that they have is scary. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The rabbit hole goes much deeper, and Blackrock, along with the help of Vanguard and a few other mega corporations, shape almost everything in our daily lives. And look, I know all that stuff might be scary to talk about, but in order to begin to understand the financial prison that we're living in, the reasons why we need stuff like Bitcoin, maybe Monero, other things, you have to be aware of the existence of all this stuff, that all this stuff is actually happening. Anyway, your question for today. Do you think that BlackRock is an evil company, an agent of the globalist agenda? Maybe I've just got it all wrong. BlackRock's just a misunderstood, nice, well-meaning financial giant that just happens to own everything. Let me know down below in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.